should be recording now. We'll be live within a second.
Alright.
And we're back again.
Back again with another episode of
Live
Shenanimegans.
within we have to say that again. We have to say again. This stream just went live. We're back again.
Yeah. Another episode of Shenanigans, everyone's favorite anime podcast.
It better be your favorite.
Yeah. What else?
The only completely homegrown anime podcast.
Yeah.
That makes no
sense. Homegrown, farm to table.
Farm to mouth. Let's go.
Yes. Delicious.
What?
Shenanigans apply directly to your face.
You would assume we'd be talking about, like, cooking anime. But we hardly ever talk about cooking anime. I guess to make it work, random point, I didn't know. I found out Silver Spoon is written by the same author as Full Metal Alchemist this week, so that was neat.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah, I thought the art looked familiar, but I could never figure out why. And it's like, oh wait,
Yeah.
it's her.
That explains a lot.
Yeah. She also did the art for the Heroic Legend of Iceland, I believe, but not the story, just the art.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I haven't read any of these except for Full Metal, but random things you learn sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we got news.
Yeah, we do. We have a little bit of news.
Before we start the news, though, I'm gonna bring up a piece of news we don't have listed here, but I don't want to actually show it. Just if you fall for like the misinformation campaign being spread right now, that's literally only by the word of a crazed anti-Semite who hates Crunchyroll because they literally called him out on Twitter for being a racist, and then, well, Elation did, and then the person who's like pushing his translations, who is a self-proclaimed translator, so obviously they work in like the illegal fan subbing. Sorry, it is illegal, as much as I hate to say it, but I don't view these people badly. It's just clearly you have something to gain by going after illegal sites.
Yeah.
It's very clear. Like, well, also for all we know, this person tried to apply to Crunchyroll and got turned down, so they're salty too. That's not proven, but
who knows?
yeah, the fact that they're a translator to the, like, not an official translator, and they're teaming up with a guy who's being called out. Like, they both have stuff against Crunchyroll on a personal basis, and none of them have proof. So, you know, fuck that noise. If you support that kind of weird misinformation campaign and actual Nazis, don't follow us. Get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck Nazis.
Yeah, fuck off. Okay. Those of you who aren't and are cool people, welcome.
Yeah.
Let's get into the news.
Yeah.
Sorry for getting political there for a second.
That's fine. Gotta do it from time to time.
That we do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
So
first.
Blooming to you.
Yeah. Getting a slide light novel. It's gonna be based on the character Sayaka Saiki. Yeah. No, I just gotta throw this in because it was like Thursday and we didn't have any news yet. So I'm like, sure, this is a thing. I've heard of Blooming to You. That anime's coming out soon.
I like the manga. I have
Yeah.
most of it. I'm caught up on scans, but I need to buy volume 5 still. But
do you have any idea who that character is?
kind of, but
Yeah.
I'm forgetting. I think it's one of the main characters' older sister.
Oh.
Oh no, it's one of the side main characters. Never mind. She's the other main character's best friend. It's weird to me that they do a side thing on her when she's one of the like sort of main characters instead of just putting her in main manga world. But
odd. But yeah, a minor thing. But yeah, cool to see.
I hope
More
7
eerie.
Seas licenses it because
Yeah.
I don't want to be missing out on plot that might be like important or relevant. You know.
Yeah. I doubt it would be, but
I mean, this is a somewhat major character. If you're doing one novel just for them, there's gotta be something, right?
maybe. I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully the anime goes well, though. That's next season, and I'm excited.
Yeah, hopefully.
I love me that good gay content, as everyone who watches knows.
Yeah. We love that good gay stuff around here. So
Yeah.
yeah. Then the next news story is just real weird. I remember like last year or something we heard about MFKZ
Yeah, yeah.
getting...
Motherfuckers.
Yeah.
The French comic.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen the cast yet. What the
Yeah.
fuck? Well,
Yeah.
RZA doesn't surprise me. They've done other anime stuff. Like they were in Afro Samurai, weren't they?
I have no idea. I believe that though.
Yeah, I think they were.
The
But,
RZA, yeah.
yeah, but like Vince Staples?
Yeah.
What?
Okay. Yeah, RZA was in Afro Samurai.
Yeah, yeah, I thought so. I'm pretty sure they play these old numbers men who get like murdered off. I think,
Mm-hmm.
or that might have been the Wu-Tang Clan, because I think some of them were in there too.
Yeah.
I can't remember. There's so many.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we got Michael Chiklis from The Shield,
Mm-hmm.
or Chiklis.
Chickless, yeah.
Yeah. Giancarlo Esposito from Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Is that George or
He's the dude that was
Jorge
the...
Gutierrez?
Yeah.
I'm
Jorge
trying to remember
Gutierrez.
how to. There's a
Anthony-
few different ways to pronounce how that's spelled.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to pronounce it right, but I don't know how. So
Yeah. I have no idea.
I tried to search it up, and it only gave me like saying it out loud video options, not like phonetics. I'm like, damn you!
Yeah.
Where's my phonics?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have Dasha Polanco from Orange is the New Black, Danny
Yeah.
Trejo from Machete.
Yeah.
What the fuck? This is the dub? Oh.
Yeah.
Yo,
this is the
I'm
dub.
Angelino. I live in a up apartment, and I hate my job. And I have a headache. What could be worse? What
I
the
love this story. I can't
Unfortunately, it seems like who's playing what doesn't seem to be released yet. Or at least for the most part. I'm looking at the IMDb page, and most of these people have their roles are blank.
Who's the main character? Like, we can hear his voice, right?
I have no
I want
idea.
to say that's Vince Staples, but I'm not certain.
That
That might be the RZA too. I think it's one of the two of them.
Yeah, RZA is voicing someone named Shakespeare, so I don't know who Shakespeare is in the context of this, though.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Young Angelino is the main character.
Angelino.
So okay, he's not the main character.
No.
And the Skull Flame guy is Vince.
That's Vince Staples.
Okay, yeah. Who's
Yeah.
Angelino then?
Danny Trejo is Bruce.
This comes out October 11th. I can't wait.
Yeah. This will be wild.
God, it might be a bit harder for me to watch because it's
Oh.
it's cinema screenings October 11th. I don't know the actual.
yeah.
Like, is this a movie or is this episodes?
This is a movie, I think. Pretty sure it's a movie.
Yeah, it looks like a movie. God.
Yeah.
I should see if it's playing anywhere locally. I want to watch this so bad.
This is funny. This Crunchyroll article links to the official site, and the official site just doesn't exist.
Wow, unfortunate.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, it might just be down from too many people. Might have crashed.
I don't know.
Maybe. Anyways.
It's going to the like buy this domain type thing.
Oh,
So.
they forgot to update it. It ran out when the month ticked
Yeah.
over. Oh no. Besides that, we have other news about movies
Yeah.
and stuff. So the funniest thing to me about this is still that when Gainax, I believe it's Fukushima. Yeah, Gainax Fukushima Animation Studio got bought out, and they changed their name to Gaina. It's just Gainax without the X.
Yeah. I assume it's got to be like some of the people that were in charge at Gainax probably left Gainax proper and are now heading the studio.
Yeah, because Gainax
like,
proper is screwed, so they like dipped out.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Yeah.
alright, well, this is one way to like evade the issues. But
yeah, they announced like 4 or 5 things here.
I think 3 here.
4.
4. Yeah, we just have 3 images. So
Yeah.
Wings of Hanmi's 2. I don't think we need that. Let's be real here. Wasn't there like a bunch of like questionable stuff about the original 2?
I have no idea.
Like, wasn't there like a violent rape scene or something? I might be thinking of a different sci-fi. But I thought it was this.
I think it's wild that like this came out in like 87 or something. So for it to get a sequel now is just bizarre.
Yeah, no, Hanmi's is the one that had the really questionable rape scene, which I believe that was kind of around the time selling like cells started to take off, and one of the animes took the cells for that scene and like got rid of them. Like they just straight up purged them because they're like, no one's making money off this or something. That there was an article I read about the whole thing ages ago, but yeah, we don't need more of this, especially not in this day and age. Like if there's like stuff like that going on, it's like incredibly tone deaf. At the time, it's even more so now if they do anything even similar, or even try to portray the character as a good character. Like it needs to be a different character, because the main character is a piece of shit. Like.
Yeah, apparently, I'm just looking at Wikipedia, the sequel was originally planned in March 1992.
Yeah.
And then it got shelved like multiple times since then. Jeez.
Yeah. And then we have Gunbuster 3, which also probably didn't need a sequel, but the first one didn't need a sequel, and then the sequel turned out okay, so maybe this one will be okay. But what is with all the old Gainax stuff just coming back and getting remade? It's weird.
Oh, no.
I don't like it.
Yeah, that is odd.
It's like, let sleeping dogs lie, people, please. It might be okay, but
cashing on that nostalgia.
yeah, I'll maybe only watch Gunbuster. But then they announced 2 new things, which actually are pretty exciting. I can't tell which image this is. Let me just copy image location and open it to see if it says in the image title. No, it doesn't. It's a bunch of letters in Spire.
Yeah.
Sometimes the file name will like tell you.
Yeah.
Which is always funny, but it doesn't. So I'm not sure which one this is, but they announced Euro in Blue, which was previously in production by Studio Gainax, but now Gainax.
No, that's Euro in Blue is Wings of Haname's.
Oh, is that? That's what they're calling it?
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Okay,
yeah, I just see that. Okay, so there's only 3 announcements and not 4.
No, there's 4, because there's Akubio Suru Niwawake Gaaru, or There's a Reason for Yawning.
Wait, where is that? I don't see that
Academia.
No, that's Gunbuster 3 is There's a Reason for Yawning, right?
I don't know.
No, I don't even know. There's...
No, it says original anime projects, Gunbuster 3 and There's a Reason for Yawning.
I thought that was like the secondary title for Gunbuster 3.
No.
Dude,
Yeah.
I don't know. The way they laid out this article is weird.
Yeah, this is poorly worded.
Yeah, and the way the images are laid out make it questionable too, because you think it's like, okay, they talk about Hanmi's, then they talk about Gunbuster 3, so then we see the Gunbuster picture. Then you see Uru in Blue again, which is again, Hanmi's at the top, but it's right above Rescue Academia, and between Gunbuster 3, like,
Yeah, this is
poorly laid out. Anyways,
yeah.
Sorry, screw Euro in Blue. Anyways, that's 2020. Rescue Academia, that's what I'm excited for. It's a kid's show, but it looks fun. It reminds me a lot of like Metabots.
Yeah.
And that to me is exciting.
Man, I remember Metabots. That show was alright. From what I remember from a decade and a half ago or however long.
Apparently, this is like promotion material for reconstruction efforts in Fukushima and Tohoku.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like this little pink robot here. They're cute.
Yeah.
They must be protected.
Yes.
Although, I'm also kind of upset. Have you ever noticed that, like, when a series has a main cast, they always fall into, like, no more than a third of the cast can be female?
Yeah.
That happens so often. Lately, now we've been getting up to half and half, but, like, you look at, like, stuff like Naruto and stuff, it's like, oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those old tropes that has never gone away yet, unfortunately.
Yeah, I still see it so much. I want, like, a fully female-led action shonen, which is something you don't really see.
Yeah.
Like, what's a female-led action shonen? Well, none, because shonen means targeted towards boys, and no one wants to target an action series towards boys following a main female character because they assume it won't sell. But then that also makes the other issue of shonen's really the only battle action series. Like that's what the genre's for. It's like they only market this kind of action battle series as shonen. So I'm ranting again, but just give me a Ruby. Give me something like Ruby. That's why I like Ruby so much.
Oh,
I'm sure there's some.
To watch it.
I'm sure there's some out there that I just don't know about.
Yeah.
But I need to find them. I'm looking. I wonder if Planet With subverts that trope, because while it is two males and a female, one of the guys is just a giant cat that turns into a robot. That voids into a robot.
Oh.
It makes it questionable.
Oh, boy.
Oh wait, no, there's the other female school friend. So yeah, there is 2 and 2. They got the half and half.
Alright.
With the cat. Sort of. Oh wait, no, because in the other superheroes, I think 3 girls and like more. I don't know. Yeah. Thinking about it too much is dumb.
Yeah. Anyway. I think that's all the news we had this week, though.
Yes.
So yeah, I want to get into stuff we read and watched this week. So yeah, what have you been up to this week?
Oh boy. I'll do what I watched first, because that's probably easier. I didn't watch as much. So I did watch a decent amount, so I'm caught up on Encouragement of Climb, Yamano Susume. They're doing some angsty stuff this season. I don't like how one of the characters is acting. But it's going to be wrapped up in another 2 episodes, so I'm hoping it'll do it well. It might get really good ending. We'll see. Still sad this manga hasn't been licensed. Come on, people. If Yo Camp can do it, Encouragement of Climb can do it too.
Yeah, hopefully.
I think it'd be a good manga for over here.
Yeah.
Get a lot of people into mountain climbing. Kind of like how everyone watched Yo Camp and wanted to go camping.
Yeah.
But yeah, besides that, I watched 2 episodes of Gakko and Babysitters. It's just the show I've been using when I don't want to don't need to pay attention, because it doesn't really have any overarching plot lines. So I was building my some Gunpla and just had it on in the background.
Nice.
So yeah, I watched 2 more episodes of that. Almost done, just 3 episodes left. Slowly going by whenever I need to kill some time. I watched another episode. After like a year, I watched episode 3 of Card Captor Clear Card Hen, and I don't like it.
Oh.
I like it, but I don't.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like their voices, first of all. Because, like, I grew up with, like, the tomboy Sakura. This like, her original voice is, like, really, really girly. And, like, she still has the original voice actress doing the original voice style. It's like she's in high school now, I believe, but they still have her talking like she's in or I think they're middle school now. Or high school. No, first year of middle school, but she still talks like she's in elementary school. Like, it's super high-pitched.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess that's okay. I hate Tomoyori's voice, though. She sounds like a wispy old lady. Like, it's, like, even modern anime doesn't make kids sound like that. But, I mean, I guess it's a product of the times. But the
Mhm.
other thing I don't like is her personality is so different in it. Like, in the original, she was a tomgirl. Even in the sub, she, like, she got into fights with her brother and stuff. She, like, went around on her roller skates. I don't think I've seen her wear her roller skates once, I guess because they're not popular anymore. Like,
Oh, yeah.
she hasn't really been tomboyish or, like, kind of, like, getting in fights with anyone else. She does a ton of blushing. It's like, I want to bake sweets for shower. Like, it's super, super girly
Mhm.
shoujo, which it wasn't originally, and that's kind of like this weird, like, did you forget how your own characters acted kind of thing. That's kind of a turn off for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's playing way too hard into the love aspect, despite there being absolutely no developments there, which is kind of awkward. It's got issues. It's got issues. I'm glad there's more card captors, but there's certain parts of it that I just wish weren't done the way they were. Because like, bringing back old series can work, but if you do it wrong, it doesn't. And I think there's parts of this that they do it very wrong.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's unfortunate.
yeah. That said, still,
Mhm.
still pretty fun. The parts they
Yeah.
do right, they do very right, and I still enjoy that a lot.
That's good.
And, like, the weird thing is, in the ending, like, the ending song, they do have, like, a lot of tomboyish Sakura. Like, they have Kuro sleeping and she's, like, upset him and she's, like, pretending to, like, shadow box him and then, like, making ugly faces at him and stuff. She does nothing like that in the show in the first 3 episodes. I'm like,
Hmm.
what happened? Like, you
Yeah.
clearly still understand the character of it. You have it in the ending, but then you're not actually
Yeah.
making do with it. And I don't know if that's maybe an anime adaptation fault or if the new mangas. I have to read the new manga to see if maybe that
Yeah.
might be. Though, I do think she's not as much of a tomboy in the original manga either. So
Oh.
maybe that's why. I don't know. But I know this follows the anime more than the manga because they have, like, Mei Ling in in this anime adaptation, despite her being an anime original. I'm
Mhm.
curious if she shows up in the manga or not, because that'd
Oh.
be interesting.
Yeah, that would be.
But I assume she just shows up in some filler arcs in this, but not sure. I need to
Mm.
keep watching. 'Cause I do still like, I do still like it, but I think it could have been a lot better.
Mhm.
And maybe it's just nostalgia talking or me misremembering, because I do that sometimes. Everyone does, but
Yeah.
anyways, enough ranting about Cardcaptor. I watched another episode of Princess Principal.
Nice.
What right did they have to give Chisei such a sad backstory? What the heck?
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, you know what episode I watched? Train
I think
Fun
so.
Times.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a weird, fun, quirky show, though. I'm
Yeah. I
need
really
to
like
watch
that
more.
show.
The Blu-ray's almost out, and I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy the deluxe edition from Sentai.
Nice.
I'm sold already. Yeah, I think that's all the anime I watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got manga then. We got a
Mm.
decent amount of manga.
Did you
So
read another 250 chapters of stuff this week?
probably more, but that's because Nichijou chapters are super short.
Oh, yeah.
I read 100
That's like cheating,
chapters
yeah.
of those alone, and then, yeah, I probably read like 300. Do we want to actually do the math here?
No, that's okay. We can just go
Yeah,
through it all.
we can go back and do it later. So I read the
Yeah.
newest chapter of Liberty that's out.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these chapters to this manga are really good and interesting, and then you have chapters like this one where the characters are, like, pinballing in emotions and make no sense, and nothing happens, and it's just like, okay then. Like, it's just
Yeah.
not making sense for the sake of drama, but it doesn't work. And I find that something I used to see in a lot of old Yuri that, like, was, like, old first attempt at manga Yuri, so it's kind of weird to
Mhm.
see it in this, where sometimes it's really good and then sometimes it's, like, not.
Yeah.
The other thing that interested me about this that I found out is it's serialized in Galette, which
Mhm.
only 3 manga from Galette are actually on Mal.
Yeah.
which is Liberty, a single volume called Con Candy, and
Mm-hmm.
Milk Morinaga's newest series,
Yeah.
the cat one, which hasn't gotten new chapters translated in forever.
Mm-hmm.
I want
Yeah.
more
I find with Mal they miss out on a lot of stuff that only is in magazines.
Yeah, well, it's up to like
So.
people to actually put it in the site, and I think
Mm-hmm.
there's probably not a lot of English users who read the Japanese
Yeah.
magazines themselves.
Yeah. Or
And
like,
they're probably just specifically like my best guess is they were specifically buying these to get the scans for like the Milk Morinaga one, and they were like, oh,
mm-hmm.
Liberty's pretty good too, and start or something like that, right? Like,
Yeah, probably.
or maybe they know one of the other creators because they've done a decent amount. Like, one of the creators of Liberty is Momona Moto, who's done like, uh, well, they did Sakura Trick apparently.
Oh.
Or they did an anthology. They're in an anthology for it. Then a bunch of anthologies. Yorihime collection and stuff. They did, or were in Unagi Marbled. Yeah, they did Unagi Marbled, which is actually pretty good, but
Oh.
the last chapter didn't translate. But yeah, like they've
Oh.
done some stuff that like is decent. And then the
Yeah.
other creator is a voice actress.
Oh.
Wait, what? Yeah, so Liberty is by Momona Moto, and then the story is by Kita Izumi, who is a voice actress.
Hmm.
She's Misaki in Card 5 Vanguard. Wait, what? Wait a second. I'm sorry for insulting your thing. Don't like. She's a really well done voice actress, and she's writing Yuri manga. All right, I'm down for it.
Yeah, that makes sense. If you're in one part of the industry, may as well expand to another one.
Yeah, if you want to try something else. It's just weird because I don't think she's ever been in anything Yuri.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Interesting.
But it's nice. She's she's supporting the game industry. But yeah, that kind of explains why that one randomly got picked up too. Because like clearly a voice actress is writing a manga. That's interesting. That's something you don't see a lot. Because usually people don't have the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Neat. Juggling both of those. Alright. Oh, wait.
No.
She was Uzawa Ri in Bang Dream. I remember there's a Bang Dream character that due to hearing loss had to step down. I was curious if that was her, but it doesn't look like it. Because that would explain suddenly having more free time. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Satomi Akisaka, the
Yeah.
lost her hearing.
Someone else. Anyways, moving on.
Anyway.
I read 3 chapters of Ninja Shinobu-san no Junjo, which is just a random slice of life comedy with romance stuff in it. It's very straight. It's okay. It's cute. It's a decent time kill. Sometimes if I just want something lighthearted, just read a chapter. So 3 chapters of that. I read the first 2 volumes of Complex Age since they finally came in. And it's a very, very neat manga. I didn't get hooked the first chapter or so, but the more I read, I started getting more into it. It's a take on a 26-year-old cosplayer who's like devoted her life to cosplay, basically. Or not devoted her whole life, but she's very, very into it. And it's kind of like dealing with society and how they see the hobby and like growing up and like what she has to do. Like, does she give it up? Does she keep pushing on, kind of stuff? Like, what's more important, cosplaying or being quote-unquote normal? Which is an interesting take, because I know a lot of people, I actually know people who struggled with that here.
Yeah.
Like, I had a friend who was, they had a lot of issues with their cosplaying and, like, imposter syndrome and whether they wanted to keep going, or if, like, were they actually good at it, or was it, like, because imposter syndrome is, like, you feel like you aren't actually good at stuff, you just somehow kind of got it.
Into it.
Yeah. And yeah, so it's like dealing with that. So it reminded me a lot of them reading it and like, oh yeah, I actually know people going through this, but to a more intense level, because I think it takes a look at like how strict Japanese society's views are on it, which of course are going to be very different than us. Like, I know people at my work who are like very into fandom stuff. Like there's one of my coworkers who's like late 30s, early 40s. She has like Walking Dead stuff all over her desk.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
know people who have like Hunter x Hunter. I don't know them personally, but I know there's someone on the second floor who has a Hunter x Hunter desktop. One of the old workers who used to be in my department, who has since moved to a different department, had like Cardcaptor desktops. Um, so yeah, it's like it's slightly more acceptable. Like you don't have people like spreading rumors like, did you hear this person likes this or does this or stuff like that, which is like
Mhm.
something that comes up in this like workplace harassment over hobbies and stuff, how it's
Yeah.
not normal. And yeah, it's a very interesting take, because of course as someone who's writing manga, they might not be into cosplaying themselves, but they'll probably know people who do. They're in that part of the fandom. So anyone who's like in their kind of mid-20s or in their 20s into fandom, I think this could be like, you could probably relate a lot of the stuff in it.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's interesting. Can't wait to
Yeah.
get the last bit when I have more money. Uh, I read 3 volumes of Tagami Bachi, so I'm halfway through. 10 volumes of 20. I can't wait to read more. I love this series so much. It's so good. I've talked
Mhm.
about it every other week, so I won't go into it too much, but just, it's getting into, like, political conspiracy stuff now.
Mhm.
It's fantastic. So, yeah. It's also getting into some, like, sort of, like, pseudo-horror type stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's neat. Um, I read another volume of Pandora Hearts, so
Mhm.
working through my slow reread to volume 15 and then read of the final 9 volumes, because I had been keeping up to date up to volume 15, and then I fell behind and I finally bought the last of the volumes. I was like, I don't remember, I need to reread it all, and then so
Mhm.
slowly doing that. Slowly. I forgot how much I love this series. It's
Yeah.
very unique. It's got a ton of like twists and turns. It's a lot of fun, and I want it to get like the Brotherhood treatment. I want it to get a remake anime so badly. It deserves
Yeah.
it. Um, and then yeah, I read 4 volumes of Nishijo, so there's like 100 chapters there, because short chapters, gang manga.
Mhm.
The anime is better. I
Yeah.
like the manga. Don't binge read it. It's good to pick up, read like 2 or 3 chapters, and put down. Binge reading, it just gets kind of tedious because you see how much they reuse jokes, even if it's slightly different.
Yeah.
Uh, I'd say maybe reading a volume over a week would probably be good, just a few chapters here and there, because
Mhm.
you don't want to space out too long, because there are overarching like jokes throughout each volume that like are in just that volume, which
Mhm.
you'd maybe miss if you did too much, but it was still okay, it's still good. The final chapter is really good. The overarching gag in the last volume is really good. It's like them as adults, and they keep mentioning like, uh, oh, what's her name? It's not Aoi, right? It's Aoi,
Uh.
Yuko,
Yeah.
Yuko. They keep mentioning she's coming back to Japan,
Mhm.
but they never say from where or anything. And then in like the final scene, they're trying to open up a whatchamacallit, a time capsule that there's also an ongoing joke of them trying to bury and messing it up throughout the
Mhm.
volume. And they're all just sitting there as adults, and then like Yuko's just there, and she has this massive like turban on. She's like super tan. She's in a military uniform. It's like, where did, like, it's just, it's so absurd. It's like, what happened? Please
Yeah.
tell me.
It's wild.
Yeah. It's not like, I should say, it's not like a turban turban. It's like one of those like decorative, like you see in like old, slightly racist movies where they're like giant.
Mhm.
It's one of those.
Yeah.
which
Might not be better.
nah, maybe because it's like
Mm,
it.
maybe.
I don't think it's like a religious turban. I don't know how else
Yeah.
to call it though. It might be something else. It might be a specific type of hat, but
Mhm.
it's
I don't know.
it's a little wild. Japan has an
Yeah.
issue with Middle Eastern countries though.
Yep.
A friend of mine brought up a game they came up with called Rich, Poor, or Whore, and it's for trying to find like characters. I don't mean to sound racist here, but
Mhm.
uh, like with brown skin,
Mhm.
like like people from like Middle Eastern, Southeast Asian and stuff, like the stereotypical countries,
Yeah.
because it's like, are they rich? Are they poor? Or are they like some kind of sexual, you know?
Mhm. Yeah.
And it's actually really hard. It's
Mhm.
really, really hard. Like you look at like, oh, there's that one, like there's that one guy from Shokugeki no Soma. He's poor. He
Mhm.
starts off poor. It's like, okay, what about the guy from Suritama? He's rich. He works for
Yeah.
an organization as like a prince. Like they have this weird issue with it. It's
Mhm.
if anyone knows any, like,
I don't know.
let us
Yeah.
know. They have like their own stereotype issues too for like black people as well, but they're not quite the same.
Yeah.
There's weird stereotype issues, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, that reminds me though about stereotypes. The Princess Principal episode where they're like, these Japanese people are weird, and they keep bowing and they're like, that's weird, please stop. It's like, this is weird coming from a Japanese creator.
Yeah.
This isn't usually what you see, which is kind of neat that it's like,
Yeah.
although that like they're not trying to make it like culturally disrespectful by being like, this is weird, please
Mhm.
stop. It's like supposed to be respectful, I guess, because they like end the scene with like, here, I'll show you how to like say thanks in our country or whatever. Like, it's
Mhm.
trying to push more its cultural exchange and less. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
I hope they get a bit better about stereotype stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Anyway.
random rants. We're going on a lot today.
Yeah.
But yeah, I finished. So I finished Nishijo, and
Mhm.
then I read 3 volumes of Soul Eater Not and finished that,
Mhm.
and it's cute, and I like it. I like it a lot. It's got a good plot. Volume
Mm.
2 was kind of bad because there's literally no plot, just filler. But there's an issue with it that I had with the main Soul Eater, and it's Atsushi Okubo. Whenever he has really good endings, he tends to ruin them by throwing a joke in there that doesn't need to be there. And it just
Oh.
ruins the feeling of it. And it's like, it's still a good ending, but it's just like, ugh, you didn't need to do that. And
Mhm.
he did it with Soul Eater. He did it with Soul Eater Not. I'm really worried he's gonna do it with Fire Force, but we'll see. Just,
Oh
I don't know
no.
why he feels the need to throw in these like weird jokes that just don't
Mhm.
hit the mark and come across as kind of shitty.
Yeah.
Or not really shitty, but just like so out of place.
Mhm.
Where like goes against like the whole point of the story and stuff. Like, it's
Yeah.
weird, but you know, I still need to read Ichi too. I want to get that. It was his first work,
Mhm.
but we'll see.
Yeah.
Alright. Outside of Soul Eater. Last episode was the 4th, right?
I think
Third.
so. The
4th.
third. Third. Or, I forget what day we did
Did
it
we
on.
do it Tuesday?
I don't remember.
I think we did Tuesday. But yeah, I read a bunch of volumes of Jitsu wa Watashi wa, I think like 4, or actually I am.
Mhm.
Uh, this manga is so good when it's not being homophobic or transphobic.
Oh.
One of the characters is a wolfman, but he's actually like a perverted girl, but when she sees the moon, she turns into a dude.
Mhm.
And yeah, they use that to a lot of bad jokes for clothing.
Ugh.
And then
Great.
they did another thing with there's an alien who's like in a female robot body because they're tiny. Is
Mm-hmm.
like doing it because it's like camouflage or whatever. And this
Oh.
really perverted creepy guy falls in love with him. And
Mm-hmm.
they keep going like he doesn't know it's a guy in there. It's like, oh,
Oh.
real. And then
God.
like they kind of make fun of how perverted and creepy the guy is a lot because he does the whole doesn't take no for an answer. But the good thing is they show it's bad. Like he goes chasing the girl down and stuff, and it's like really creepy. And then it's like scenes of him literally being arrested, just like it's kind of played off as a joke, which isn't the best.
Mm-hmm.
But at least they're playing it off as like, yeah, no, this is bad.
Yeah.
Well, it's a joke. Those two ongoing jokes are kind of the worst though, but all the other stuff is fantastic and great.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if they could just tone down on some of the that other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. I think they're gonna stop with the joke about the really creepy pervert guy chasing the guy in the robot, because it
Hmm.
kind of had its overall arc and then hit the point where he actually gets arrested for it, so I don't think they'll keep going, but
Yeah.
uh, sometimes with anime and manga. I'm gonna keep
Yeah.
reading it, but it's one of those
Hopefully.
things where it's like the rest of
Hopefully
it
that
carries
improves.
it enough, but like that hurts it so much. But
Yeah.
it's not as bad as some stuff. Like it's not overtly like, oh, gay, it's awful or whatever. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's wrong because it's gay. Like a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
play isn't like, oh, it's wrong because that's a dude in there. Though they do make that point, like he doesn't know and he's obsessed with girls. Like
Mm-hmm.
they do play that up a bit, but the majority of the play up is that like no, he's just a creep who won't take no. Like the scum of the earth. Like they
Mm-hmm.
are like, oh, they match each other. He's absolute scum, and he slash they're referring to she because they don't know about the it's a guy in the robot. They're like, and she's would do anything for a free meal because he's like poor
Oh.
on another planet, so he's like they're
Yeah.
perfect for each other and stuff, and like it plays up
Yeah.
more that they're both just really awful people,
Ugh. Yeah.
but it still does have those issues,
Mm-hmm.
and they are bad.
Yeah.
But I'm like halfway through, so I guess I'll finish it and then go back and be like, yeah, was it worth it? Who knows?
Mm.
Um, I read like 5 volumes, 49 chapters of this manga I found called Aniome, or Living with My Brother's Wife. It's about a
Oh.
girl and her brother whose parents have died, and then it's like 1 year after her brother has passed away as well. And
Mm-hmm.
so she's living with his wife, and it's just the two of them. And it's kind of like shoujo ui. It's kind of gay, but also kind of not. It
Mm.
hints a lot about it might be gay, but it's a lot about like codependence and trying not to like burden the other person, but then feeling like the
Mm-hmm.
other person like because you're trying not to burn them and they're trying not to burn you. The issues that arrive from that, from like taking on too much
Yeah.
stress.
Mm.
And just like it's kind of like growing up and dealing with issues and like the losing family issues stuff, and just trying to be there for who you have left.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah,
Huh.
it's really good. It's very, very over dramatic, but I think it's good. The
Mm-hmm.
thing that caught me off guard is it's by Kuzushiro, who's the creator of
Mm-hmm.
Inugami-san to Neko Yama-san. And the
Wow.
art is completely different. And when I searched it up after, because I'm like, that's crazy. They have
Mm-hmm.
like 5 or 6 ongoing manga in different magazines. I'm like, what?
Huh.
How? Like, how are
Wow.
you this good? Like,
Yeah.
because there's
Wow.
Aniyome. Is this one done? Yeah, that one's done. But like that was running from like 2014, ended in April. There's one called Chihaya-san, which ended in
Mm-hmm.
April. Like it was
Oh.
ongoing as 71 chapters.
Wow.
Geki Buno ended ages ago. That was one of their first works. Inugami-san's ongoing. Kimi no Tame, which is another Yuri comedy, is also ongoing. It's like historical timepiece one. It's very similar to Inugami-san in like art style and tone. And then Gilmo Futari, I think is... Well, that finished in 2015, but that's a compilation of stuff. I know there was another few here. Let me find them. Well, Boss X Hero, they finished 2014. Like, yeah, they did 4 once in 2014 as well, it looks like. Because, yeah, there's also Love Death they did in 2014, which I also didn't realize is them until just now. They did Love Death? Yikes.
Wow.
That's so different. Renai Kawaii finished in 2017. Like, it's all in the same time period. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's been prolific.
Yeah. Like, they've... In 2014 to 2015, they finished, like, 3 different series. 4 or 5, actually. Okay, here's the other one. There's Tobaku Senpai, which started in 2017. It's ongoing. What does Tobaku Senpai bet on? Which is a comedy romance school seinen, and it's about gambling. And it's, that one's straight. Well, the rest is, like, all gay, so it's, like, it's weird. They do so much, and it really looks like they're just, like, experimenting with different styles and stuff, but it's crazy how much this person does.
Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, she does a ton. Which also, yeah, more female. I just see the image, and I can't tell. Look at that image for her.
That's very good.
Yeah, it's like, I can't... Are you dead? I think you're dead. Anyways, yeah, no, it's a very good manga. I'm looking forward to more. Although there hasn't been new updates to Inugami-san in so long, at least on our side. That probably is just not translated, and it makes me sad. And then the other thing I read, well, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but I was reading Otome Danshi, which is like the 4 pages a day, though it's not really that reliant, but the cross-dresser.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just read more of that, not much, because not much has come out, weirdly. And then I finished the second half of Magical Girl Raising Project, which, yeah, they fit the whole anime season in 1 light novel. It went fast. People kept saying the light novel is better, and I could maybe see it for, like, past season 1, because apparently that's where all the good arcs come in, but, like, so many characters get so little development in the light novel that it's hard to feel for them when they die, because they just drop like flies. Like, I think Magicloid 44 is in, like, maybe 4 pages, maybe 5, max. They literally show up, have a scene with Calamity Mary, have a scene where they die, and that's it. I think they show up in a chat once earlier, too, and that's it. They say, like, 2 things.
I think it's about how much they showed up in the anime as well.
Yeah, which they could have been a really neat character, which sucks.
Yeah.
So many of those characters deserve so much better. The thing that really got me, though, is the entire thing could have been avoided if Winter Prison had just killed, what's her name? Cranberry, when they first fought. And, like, it specifically says in the light novel, like, she punched her a bunch in the face. It's like, she, instead of going for, like, the single finishing blow because she knew there was no way she could get away, it's like she specifically goes to make her suffer more instead of just killing her in one hand. It's like, no! You fool! And then she gets tricked by Cranberry's magic in the voice. They also, I don't know if they show in the anime, but they don't even mention the fight between La Pucelle and Cranberry at all. It's just like they challenge each other to a fight, then it cuts to, like, the chat the next day announcing that La Pucelle died in an accident.
I don't remember. It's been
if
too
they
long since I
actually
watched
fight
it.
or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I'm curious what ways they used to actually drag out the series, because it had to have been, because that's only 200 pages for an entire anime series.
Yeah.
But it was...
I think which character was La Pucelle? Because I can't remember
the one
which
with the
character.
sword.
Oh, they did
Sota.
show some of
The
them fighting when they died, I
The
think.
one who's definitely trans, and I will fight anyone who says otherwise.
Yeah.
Which
Oh
sucks
yeah,
that
they definitely are.
Yeah. Awful that they died. They deserve better.
I think they showed the fight where that character died. I think.
I'm not
Maybe.
sure, but
Yeah, I don't know.
the stuff I like, even the very end of it though hints at kind of what happens, and it's really interesting because it mentions Snow White has kind of become this loner who's like flying around the world fucking stuff up, like taking down bad people. But she's
Mhm.
become like she's literally just become a loner. Like she doesn't want to
Huh.
work. She will not work with the other people because like
Yeah.
the magic society works with them. And then instead, Ripple, who is apparently now only one-armed,
Yeah.
uh, is like really popular with other agents and works with them, which is like it's the complete opposite from when you're first introduced to them. And Ripple doesn't want to work with anyone, doesn't want to work
Mhm.
with top speed and stuff. And then through her struggles and like them working together, she like starts to enjoy it more, and then wants like she can't like it like becomes she'd rather work with people to try to protect them. Whereas Snow White, everyone who worked with her died, so she like doesn't want to get people involved with her. And it's
Mhm.
really interesting to see that complete character reversal throughout the series. I'm
Yeah.
really curious how that moves into like the next arcs, because there's two arcs of light novel after, to my knowledge. I believe it's still ongoing, but I think there's two completed, and I want to
Mhm.
buy them,
Hmm.
but they haven't gone on sale. But
Uh,
it's good. I'm interested where it goes. And my biggest issue again was the amount of time spent. I don't think was enough, which it was probably originally planned to be a one shot.
mhm.
I think some of the translation is also kind of wonky. Some of the wording just sounds kind of dull, which again might just be translation issues, or it might be the original writing issues too, because light novels aren't always known to be the highest quality of art.
Yeah.
Uh, that doesn't mean they're bad, but they're also like they're like young
Mhm.
adult novels here, and how there's some young adult novels that also have those issues.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really want to see where the arcs that everyone says are fantastic go, and they have multiple volumes per arc, so they'll definitely have more time to flesh out, which
Mhm.
excites me to see what they can do with more time and room.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that's about it. I kind of went on for a while there. So what about
Yeah.
you?
Well, if we keep up with the manga for a bit here, I've read more of Girls Last Tour. That is a very good series. It's the arc in that is so good. I love it a lot, and it's making me want to rewatch the anime as well. 'Cause it's just so good.
I thought you
Oh.
hated the marshmallow faces. Have they
Ah,
grown on you?
yeah, kinda actually. I don't know, it's this really weird thing because it's like they have those weird soft marshmallow faces, but then the rest of the world is so like harsh
Hmm.
and like yeah sharp and stuff, and so it's just this weird thing of like yeah they're that's just like what those characters are, and it makes them stand out against the world. It's a strange thing, but it's really good. So yeah, that's 2 volumes of that are out. Waiting on I don't know when the next volume comes out. It's a while still, I think.
I thought the
But
first 4 volumes were out.
oh yeah, you're right. The first 4 are out,
Hmm.
and then the 5th one is this month, I think. Yeah, there's only 6 total, so should finish that up soon, hopefully. Yeah, and then I finished reading Sweet Blue Flowers, which was pretty good. It was like parts of the story were really sweet and really good, but then there were also parts of it where I would just like jump around from one character's perspective to another for a while, but it would only be like for like 3 or 4 pages at a time. It would just switch to someone else, and then it would do like a flashback, and then switch to a different character and jump to someone else. And it was just really weird, and like it kept going back to these older sisters of one character. Like that character goes away for a while
Hmm.
in like the middle of the story and then come back, but it still cuts to like their
Oh,
sisters.
I'm only halfway through. I'm only halfway through.
Oh, I
But
won't spoil it, but
I do know sort of what you're talking
yeah,
about. Yeah, like
yeah.
the one girl who like kind of likes the older girl who is
Hmm.
in the play or whatever, and her older sisters who like the or are
Yeah.
dating the art ones, right?
Yeah.
They're like dating the other teacher or whatever. They're engaged.
Hmm.
Those ones, yeah.
It's it does this stuff like I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but like it draws parallels between things that like happened to those sisters when they were at the school to things that are going on right now with the students already there. But it's like I don't think it works very well.
Mm.
But it's always kind of a minor part in it, but it's weird because it just makes it feel like they're just stretching out what they've got left to like I don't know this filler stuff to pad out the volumes, I guess, or something. I don't know. But overall, it was still pretty good.
Yeah,
Had
I
a
know
really
that
nice ending.
that issue you're
Yeah.
talking about, jumping around a lot. I felt that a
Mm-hmm.
lot in the early volumes when they kind of jumped from first year to second really suddenly.
Oh yeah.
Like that was kind of jarring, and that's kind of the reason I haven't finished it yet. Is that it's just really weird to me and put me off a
Mm-hmm.
bit. But
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they do more of that, so have fun.
oh.
Yeah. I think it is worth finishing though.
Yeah,
'Cause
no, like
the.
I still really enjoyed what I read. It's just one of those things
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, because I waited for the other volumes to come out, I'm now like, it was kind
Yeah.
of jumping around. It's hard for me to keep track of what happened, and I'm like, do I have to
Yeah.
reread it? I don't really want to, but I might have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, that's what I did. Is I had the second volume that I hadn't read yet, and then I had to go back and reread the whole first one, and then the second one I just got because I don't have to reread it again.
Yeah, it's a binger.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and then there were also some new chapters of Goku Shufudo, translated, the house husband, and that's still good. It's still good and cute, and I like. This might sound kind of mean, but I actually kind of wish it would end soon. Because like, I'm just wondering how much longer the gag of it can go on. Because like, in the most recent chapter, he's like doing laundry, but the way he's talking, it makes it sound like he's talking about how to like hide a body after you kill someone. Like, okay, this is good and funny, but I'm just curious how long they can keep this up. Like, how long they can do the same gag.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Especially
But
without
yeah.
like an overarching plot.
Yeah, exactly.
That it's
So yeah.
a random tangent, but that reminds me of the pirate metal band.
Mhm.
Oh no, what's their name again? Ailstorm.
Oh, Ailstorm, yeah.
They have a song called like Scraping the Barrel, and it's like all about like, you thought we'd give up this gag, you think we'd run out of like pirate stuff to sing about, well like fuck you, we're scraping the barrel. And then they do another album, I think it's the album after that, where it's like, or that song's at the end of the album, they like go back in time and fight Vikings or something. Like it's ridiculous. But
Oh, it's pretty good.
whenever I think about like something like getting tired like that, or like scraping the bottom, I'm always like think about that song.
Yeah. Next thing I read was the second volume of Colosseum, which continues to be wild. It was, it's got one L in it, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One L.
And so yeah, it made me realize that like the first volume, they had so much of it dedicated to explaining how their like no weaponry stuff works, that it was like they didn't have time to really set up a main plot. Like they started hinting at stuff, but they didn't like no one had any motives, or like nothing was explained, and so that was the whole second volume was doing that. It was weird, and it's strange because like a lot of character relationships get rushed. It's like there's the character fights the main character, and it like is over in a couple pages, and then they at the very end it was like, oh, by the way, there's like an important character relation there that is really glossed over very quickly. It's like, oh, that could have been a bigger thing, but it just wasn't. But also they seem to be killing off a bunch of characters very quickly, so this thing is weird. The pacing in it's very strange. But yeah, I'm gonna keep up with it because it's only 6 volumes, so I figure I may as well.
You're making me want to buy into it. It sounds wild.
Yeah, it's alright. The kind of my favorite thing so far, and I don't know if this is going to be like a running gag, but they've got like, in the first volume one dude suplexed 100 people all at once, and then in the second volume a different dude suplexed a building. So I'm kind of hoping that in each volume there's just a progressively bigger suplex, because that's just good and ridiculous.
The finale is Putinov and Billy Quintone trying to suplex each other at the same time.
Oh jeez, that'd be pretty good. Yeah, and then the last stuff I read Girl from the Other Side, because I had picked up the 4th volume of that a while ago, but I had like forgotten what was going on, so I looked at it and like, I know what's happening is important, but I don't remember the context, so I went back and reread the first 3 volumes, and then read the 4th one as well. It's really good. I still really love the art in it. And something I noticed more on this reread was that the Shiva, the little girl, like they do a really good job of making her seem like an actual child. Because so often in anime and manga, there'll be like little kids, but they kind of behave like they're much older. But like the way Shiva talks about things and the way she thinks about things, and there's like a lot of complicated adult stuff of like people, they mean well, but they might lie a little bit or outright lie to make it seem like someone else is not good or bad or whatever. And she's like gets very confused by that, and it makes her seem so much more human than a lot of kids in anime. So yeah, it's a very good series.
You're making me feel bad I didn't buy
Yeah.
the volumes on behind of on the 7 Seas sale that there was.
Hmm.
I had to buy stuff that was going out of print though.
Yeah,
But
that makes sense. You probably have
I
a while
want
to go
to read
before.
it.
Yeah. Oh,
Sounds so
it's
good.
really good. It is. It's very good. But yeah, and then on to the stuff I watched this week, which I actually kind of watched a lot, and like some of it is a bit weird. Because Crunchyroll threw up a bunch of stuff this week. It surprised me. The first thing was the Junji Ito collection bonus episode, which I think it's in now just under the name Tomie. Because it's the 13th episode that was bonus that went with
Yeah.
the DVDs, and it's bad.
It's 2 episode one.
Yeah, they're only 10 minutes each, but yeah, it's 2 episodes. And yeah, it's like, at first when I was watching, I'm like, oh, this animation isn't that bad. It like looks like they improved it some, but then it got to some of the like actual gross monster stuff in that story, and like, oh nope, it's bad still. Okay. And like they have so little time in these episodes to get through the details that they just rush through a bunch of it, and like it doesn't really do any of the story justice. Like I don't know, it was a bad. It's bad. Junji Ito collection is still bad. Don't watch it.
I still find it hilarious that the best adaptation of Junji Ito works is the
Mhm.
that YouTuber, the horror picture show presents
Oh.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he actually knows how to at
Yeah.
least try to like present the plot correctly, although he just uses the manga itself, which I mean might be a
Yeah.
little illegal, but
Yeah.
it's like it's the
Yeah.
best adaptation there is. So
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and then another thing is Crunchyroll uploaded the first episode of Double Decker, which is a fall anime. So they screened the episode at Crunchyroll Expo, and it was actually like pretty alright. It's this weird like not really supernatural investigation, but like a special investigation squad. I don't know. It's very lighthearted and funny, which is kind of nice.
that sounds weird when I'm reading this. It's like
Yeah.
a highly lethal drug, and it's like it's funny
Yeah.
and nice.
Yeah.
It's an
Yeah.
original too, apparently. Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was pretty good. So once it starts airing properly in like a month, I'm gonna probably keep up with it. Oh, the problem is the two main characters, Doug and Carol, are like the least interesting people.
On Mal, it says this is related to Tiger and Bunny.
Oh,
So this might be in the same
huh.
universe,
Yeah,
which would be
I could see that.
yeah, that'd be pretty interesting, I think. Or it
Yeah.
might be like a alternate universe, same characters, because they look kind of similar to the.
Maybe.
Who knows? But yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
And the last Crunchyroll surprise was this thing called Frankenstein Family, which I'm just gonna send you the link to it on Discord because it's on Mao under the Taiwanese name, so Frankenstein Family won't find it. So yeah, I sent you a link in
what's the
Discord.
Mal name?
I just sent you a link in Discord.
Just now.
Yeah.
Is she on?
So-
Oh, I saw this. Yeah, this didn't want to watch. It sounded like just tragic.
Yeah. They don't make it that tragic in the 2 episodes that are up so far. Like they very briefly go over the whole situation of how they got there because that was a thing I was concerned about. It's like this sounds really sad. Like it kind of is, but they're not really getting into that stuff too much yet. I don't know.
The
I
girl
might
with
keep
the
up with it
spider
for a
legs
bit.
is cute.
Yeah.
It's the dog person. It's like, oh no.
Yeah. The dog brother. Well,
just-
he can freely transform between human and
Oh,
dog. So
okay.
At least there's that. Yeah.
Okay. Not as much suffering. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's still a weird thing. I don't know. If I don't end up watching a lot of fall season stuff, I'll probably keep up with it because they're going to do 2 episodes a week on Wednesdays. But yeah, that show was alright. And then I watched the new Hurricane Receive this week. And it's gotten to the point where I really wish they would have taken the time to explain the hand signals they do. Because, you know, being a pretty fan service anime, they show their butts a lot, and they use that as, like, a plot-relevant reason to do it. But, like, you know, because they put their hands behind their back to signal each other when they're going to serve stuff, but, like, they haven't explained what any of the hand signals mean. So they just, like, show this girl doing a signal, and then they serve it, like, oh, that was a good call. Like, I don't understand what just happened. It's, you know...
I wonder if it gets more into that in the manga, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
You know
I
how
would
a lot
hope
of
so.
manga have like they'll like put a little box on the side with like extra information, translation notes, stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, that show's pretty good. And then I would have watched Hanebado, but that got delayed due to the earthquakes. So understandably, because apparently part of the studio that makes Hanebado is in Hokkaido, where the earthquake hit. So that got delayed a week. And then, yeah,
It's been scary how many earthquakes have been hitting there,
yeah,
like major ones.
yeah. There was like also like a small tsunami just like a week or two ago, like briefly a little
Probably.
bit before the earthquake hit.
Yeah, probably because of the earthquake, sort of. They
Yeah,
usually go
probably.
hand in hand.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, and then the last thing I've been watching was the North Star, and it's been really really good. All the new characters that they had in this with Shu and Souther are fantastic, and oh, it's just so good. The one problem I'm having with it is that there's a lot of recap episodes, and like every episode starts with a couple minutes recapping stuff. Like it's, like it makes it feel kind of slowly paced, but then once they get into the actual stuff, it's been really good. But also, I looked ahead, and at the end of part 3 is like there's the finale to part 3, and then there's 5 recap episodes to cover all of the stuff so far.
God.
Yeah, so I might be skipping some episodes in the future.
That sounds kind of like my issue with Hunter x Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of every arc, they did a recap episode. Every single arc.
Yeah, that's the same thing this has been doing. So, like, I have to. I'll also do an episode like the middle of this part. It'll be like 12 episodes, and they'll do a recap episode just to catch everyone up. It's been weird. Yeah, and then I also played the demo for the PS4 game for Fist of the North Star, and that's really good. It's from the Yakuza devs, so it's pretty much a Yakuza game, but in the Fist of the North Star universe. But it's very good. I can't wait for it to come out in October.
Sounds like
So, yeah.
a fun time.
Yeah. So yeah, that's everything I did this week.
Yeah. So, got on a few too many tangents. We're
Yeah.
way behind schedule as usual. That's fine.
Yeah.
Let's get into our
Bookclub.
book club. Yeah. And
Yeah.
welcome to Reaper 398 in the chat. Sorry we didn't say it earlier. Just
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah. Hello.
trying to rush through some stuff because we're late.
Yeah.
I usually go to
Oh,
bed
gosh, we
like
are.
18 minutes ago for
Oh,
work.
whoops.
It's fine. I
That's
can
okay.
stay.
Yeah.
We're back to normal hours. I don't have to get up as early anymore, so I'm good.
Oh,
I'm good for another like 40 minutes. So
yeah. That's good.
yeah.
But yeah. I think do you want to start with Alderman or Pleiades?
Let's start with Alderman because I don't
Okay.
want to end this ranting.
Yeah. Oh, it was
Alderman.
bad.
Oh, the longer it goes, the less I like it.
Yeah. Same.
This episode was a mess.
Yeah, it was.
I hate how instead of building and like going through new experiences and learning stuff, they keep
Mhm.
defaulting back to Icta's past, which they won't explain, to Deus Ex
Mhm.
Machina their way through. Like it's like, oh yeah, I knew Nana as a kid.
Yeah.
Like we did know he'd gone there as a kid, so that's not too far of left field. But like
Mhm.
even when he sees her for the first and second time, he doesn't react at all. It's not till like suddenly this episode, when it's plot relevant, he remembers it. It's like,
Yeah.
if he'd remembered it in an earlier episode, it wouldn't be as bad, but it's like, oh, why? And then he just chops off his finger. It's like, what?
Yeah.
3 things.
Yeah, that's just some real actual Yakuza stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh yeah, it's another girl who's in love with him too, for plot relevancy. Man, Nana at least gets to be a plot device, unlike what's her name, who I can't remember. Kana. Kana didn't even get that.
Oh.
They've referenced Kana twice since she's died.
Yeah.
Very briefly each. Like, this episode is just like, we got there in time this time, and like nothing else. Like, you don't see his emotions at all. It's like there's no flashback. It's like, I guess so.
Yeah.
We're also set up for. We finally get set up with a rival, except it's not one who's been hinted at all. This is the problem with it being a light novel adaptation that's only adapting the first 3 light novels, and there's at least 7.
At least, yeah.
Yeah, like, we're not even halfway through, so, like, we're not even, like, close to halfway through, so the fact that they're now, like, introducing a rival would make sense in the light novels, but in the anime it's, like, so far in. It's like, oh, yikes. And then also, they didn't foreshadow him at all, and then it's like this other country that they did sort of foreshadow, so that was good. But my issue with this country is it's the Holy Alderamin Empire. And do you know what the issue with that is?
What?
The series is named after it. That means the whole plot will focus on fighting them. The whole stuff with Kyoka, that's all going to become side content. That's background. We're never going to get to deal with that. Because it's all just going to be about this Alderamin thing. Like,
yeah.
Even in the
really
light
weird.
novels, it kind of hints that. It's like, unless, I guess, maybe they somehow defeat both somehow along the way, but, like, I don't know. It's not set up like that's how it's going to work, and I couldn't see the light novels going in that way.
I don't know. I could see it shifting the focus to Kyoka, since the rival dude they introduced, Gene, whatever, he is from Kyoka, and Alderamin is like the name of their god, and the country is just Aldera.
I guess.
So it could be something with, like, maybe this Aldera Empire allies with Kyoka or something. I don't
Crush
know.
the Holy Empire, and then it's like the heathens are gonna kill you.
Yeah.
And of course, like, Aldera's like, oh yeah, I kind of was confused about how they're like, they're gonna wipe us both out. But then I remembered, oh yeah, they talk about the Safida people don't believe in the Alderamin religion. They have their own beliefs with the spirits, so when they come, they're like, yeah, spirit abuse. It's like, no, it's because they believe it differently. Also, their spirits were stolen from them. That's not even their fault, but, you know, they get lumped in with it. So, because they never explain, and I at first thought it's just, oh, he's just saying that to, like, trick you, but then it's like, the fact that they go along with it so willingly, I almost think it's like, yeah, they knew that, like, this other country hated them for it and wanted them gone because they didn't believe in the same region, right? Like, it's a holy war. Like, they understand, like, yeah, they have a different religion and don't like us for it. They probably would try to kill us, too.
Yeah, this episode was bad, because, like, the real problem I had with all the Aldera stuff is, like, they had been mentioned earlier in the show, but it was only in terms of, like, being a religion. And so when they're like, oh yeah, their army is invading, like, wait, they have an army? And they're like, oh yeah, it's a whole other country. Like, wait, what?
They mentioned the pilgrimages too, that they use the cloaks from, but, like, not much past that.
Yeah, so it's like I was under the impression that Aldera was just, like, a religious order within the Empire. But, like, no, it's a whole thing.
I kind of see it as that. Like, I almost see them as, like, the Vatican.
Yeah.
Like,
that's pretty much what they are, yeah.
Yeah, and at this point I'm almost seeing, like, Kyoka as being sort of like the Roman Empire, and then the Empire seems almost more like Germanic, kind of. Like, if we were to draw parallels to history, it'd probably be something closer to that, where they were still considered heathens, even after they adapted to Christianity or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Not really looking forward to the rest of this show anymore. Just, these past couple episodes have just been so bad. It's like, oh. We gotta finish it, though.
Yeah, we're so close.
Oh.
We got Haroma Becker
Mhm.
or character development finally.
Yeah. That was
That was a good point.
Yeah, that was like the one good part of this episode was when they tried to send Matthew away and stay in fight 2. That was like the only good part. So I was really scared that they were actually going to send them away and we just wouldn't see either of them anymore. So
Yeah.
maybe those two will get something in these couple episodes that are left. Hopefully. Maybe.
I'm really upset because we don't go
Yeah.
far enough. Of course, we're never gonna find out the princess's plans or if she was gonna overthrow her
Oh
country,
yeah.
which you could maybe see also as a way to like put off the war with Aldera and then focus on Kyolka. But
Mhm.
um, she's also just not been relevant for half the series. She got sent away and never came back, despite her being like in all the
Yeah.
promotional art, being big in the beginning, a lot of plot around her, and then
Mhm.
this big what's I gonna say? There's just been so much emphasis on her, even in the opening and endings, that it's like
Yeah.
she's clearly really important for the main plot, but this is just like the first arc
Mhm.
of the light novels, so it's
Yeah.
not where her plot becomes relevant. So she like shows up really big, then just disappears, and like that's one of the issues with a long ongoing light novel series that you adapt is if you don't get the extra seasons,
Mhm.
it just kind of is like, what the fuck happened? Like,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if we don't even see her in any of the last episodes. If she's just like gone for good from the rest of this show.
mm, I think she might show up right near the end because I'm assuming they'll like escape back to the
Oh
Citadel or
yeah.
whatever, and she'll probably show up with reinforcements or something from
Yeah,
the back
probably.
lines. That's my best guess.
Yeah, she'll show up at the end to like pat Dick on the back and tell him he's really good at war or whatever.
Yeah, you're so hot when you lead people to battle, or shows
Yeah.
up. I want someone to make fun of him because he always hits on girls. I want him to hit on a girl and just be like, "You couldn't satisfy me with 5 fingers, and you only have 4," like something shitty like that, which a little
Yeah.
not safe for work. But
Mhm.
I want
That's
someone to
okay.
just mock the shit out of him. He deserves it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm also upset we're probably not going to get more. Like, we're never going to get the full development to Matthew and Roma. And we're not
Yeah.
going to find out the whole thing about, like, the bloodlust with,
Um,
Yatori.
oh yeah.
I want
That's
to know
right. Dang.
what's up with all of that bloodlust stuff.
Yeah. Oh, almost done. Only 3 more episodes. Oh,
It's just
almost
upsetting
there.
knowing none of
Yeah.
these things. Like, the interesting
Yeah.
plot points that drove it, we're not going to get answers to those. And that, to me, is a bit
Yeah.
upsetting.
That's such a bummer.
Yeah, it's like, I guess I need to read the light novels, but they're not published anywhere, and I don't really want to because of the other stuff this series does badly.
Yeah.
Although the question is, does it do it better in the light novels as well? I mean, it's
Uh,
possible.
maybe. Who could say?
Might do it worse, too.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's one thing to see him kind of being an asshole, and then it's another
Mhm.
thing to have to read about him, like, Ikta did this, and all this is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I did
Anyway.
like the strategy stuff they brought up. It's like, I guess there's a forest they never mentioned in the mountains.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's like 2 lanes of mountains, kind of, and the
Mhm.
forest makes up a valley in between,
Yeah.
which is probably where the Safita did a lot of their forestry stuff.
Mhm.
Although suddenly elevation sickness has become irrelevant too. That's funny to me. It's
Yeah.
irrelevant for this other army. But I'm assuming because they're like, yeah, they came over the mountains. It's like, but you're in the mountains still. So I have to assume it's like 2 lanes of mountains, and like this forest
Mhm.
is kind of in this in between pass they're using after they
Mhm.
got from one side of the Great Mountains, and then they're gonna have to go through the mountain trails to the other side.
Yeah. It's probably right.
Which is why it's like they have to go through these mountains because it's like the one pass or whatever, I guess. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like the strategies in, well, if we burn the forest, it's going to delay them, right? Like,
Mhm.
they're going to have to wait for it to burn out. So then the counter strategy is make it burn faster so it'll burn out faster. Like, it's like, it's
Yeah.
so obvious, but still, like, neat.
Yeah. Still clever.
I can already tell I'm going to hate this new character, the
Almost
rival.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm. So yeah. Should we move on to Pleiades then?
Sure.
Yeah. This episode was okay. It
Uh,
was an episode.
This show went from super gay to super straight super fast.
Yeah. It was
Yeah, I don't
unfortunate.
want to know
Like,
Minato's backstory anymore. It's just kind of nonsense, garbled, and weird.
yeah.
Although it might be better later. I think it is the Minato is two people in one, kind of two
Mhm.
personalities. Because
Yeah. I don't know. The thing at the end with Minato getting all those fragments made me wonder if
I knew it was
like
gonna
it had been a
happen.
ploy the whole time. Yeah.
Maybe,
But
but I
like,
mean, we had the scene where they like talk to the other one,
yeah.
which is why I still want to say it's like multiple personalities, and the fact that like, oh yeah, you can only remember stuff in this world, and then you suddenly have memories to past. It's like, oh wait, we met before. Like it's
Mhm.
clearly like there's something more going on. Um,
Yeah.
I almost wonder if it's like because it was almost like a giant bird cage if that was like locked away, and because she
Mhm.
let like if that was like a universe to the demon Minato's conscience, if letting out now lets him take over in the real world, which is why he's
Yeah.
now showing up normally until like the magic shows up and then it like swaps him back.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, as soon as they're like, take it with you there, it's like it's over. He gets them all.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know about you, but I didn't get the impression from the episode before this one that like the rest of the group had thought that Minato and Subaru were dating. So they just like looked at them garden together like, oh, that's weird.
Well, they did say it's po-warm, like it's heartwarming.
Yeah, I
So
guess.
I guess maybe, but like yeah, the fact that they jumped way too hard on the they must be dating, and then way too hard
Yeah.
on oh yeah, they're actually kind of in love and kiss at the end as a
Mhm.
star explodes and they knew each other as a kid. Like they didn't foreshadow that they knew each other as a kid at all, which I think they should have.
Yeah.
For this episode to work, they definitely had to have foreshadowed that, I
Mhm.
think. Like it's assumed that's why she likes astronomy so much, but
Mhm.
I think it would have been really good if they foreshadowed it. Like, yeah, like, just someone asked offhand. It's like, this boy taught me all about it in when my mom was in
Mhm.
the hospital or whatever.
Yeah.
It seemed so magical or something. Like,
Yeah.
well, I don't know. But of course,
Yes.
she forgot about it. That's their gimmick. It's oh yeah, when you go back, you forget. So she
Mhm.
couldn't remember it.
Yeah.
Neither could he.
Mm. I thought it was funny that this week both of our episodes had flashbacks to the protagonist actually knowing one of the other men when they were kids.
Yeah. It's a bad trope when you don't
It is.
foreshadow it.
It's real bad. It's just, it can be such lazy writing. 'Cause it's like, oh, we just need to make these characters know each other better, so we'll just.
My question is,
Just
why was
force.
Minato in the hospital as a kid, though? Maybe that's when like the split personality thing started.
Maybe.
Maybe we're gonna
Could
get
have been
more on
that.
that. Now I
Maybe.
understand why all the fanfics are between Subaru and Minato, though. Cause that was
Yeah.
like hard.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
fuck your other ships
canonical. Yeah.
episode. Like, yikes.
Yeah. Ugh.
I love the fight though. Where it's like, wow, I'm in space. This is like a dream. It's unbelievable. It's like, girl, you go to space every day.
Yeah.
What are you
Seriously.
talking about? I'm a magician. No way, really? You're accepting this very well.
Yeah.
Well, I have a space car engine.
Yeah. No, I do like that it finally makes sense why this is so spacey, because the Pleiades cluster is called Subaru,
Mm-hmm.
and then Subaru is the sponsor. I'm like, oh, okay, this all
Yeah.
makes sense now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have much else on this episode.
I had something, but now I'm trying to remember
Yeah.
it. Oh yeah, it really bothers me that like the character is obviously the same, but they can't recognize
Yeah.
him sometimes somehow, even though it's like you have the exact same earring. And it's like you don't get it. He can do magic stuff in space, like.
Yeah.
Just it somehow doesn't click for them, and then none of the other girls, despite trying to stalk them, like it doesn't click for any of them either. Like,
yeah, that is really frustrating. It's
yeah,
like somehow they just none of them notice somehow. That's
maybe they were
ridiculous.
slightly different, but like Subaru's already raised concerns, and it's just like, I guess it's not you. And then like none of the other characters have. Like, I actually think it would have been good if like they're like her boyfriend. It's like, doesn't he look kind of like, and that's why they're following you. As they're like, he looks kind of like they're suspicious that it might be Minato.
Yeah.
That I think would have been a bit more interesting than just girlfriend, boyfriend. But I think maybe it feels a lot like a lot of people are like, oh, they're so gay, it's so good, and they're like, no, we were being too subtle here. It's not.
Yeah.
Because like Aoi's acting completely different this
Yeah.
episode too in relation to Subaru, and like I almost said Sakura. Too much tight captors.
Yeah.
But it's like it's just really awkward and feels really forced. I know everyone says about like gay partners, but like this episode felt hella forced. Like, you want to see forced romance? That's this episode here.
Yeah, seriously.
Just give me the lesbians, damn it.
Yeah.
Okay, I can write fanfics.
Yeah.
I have too many on my plate. Damn it.
Oh. It's too much to do. Not enough time.
Yeah, that's a mood.
So yeah.
That's
I
about
think
it.
that wraps it up for this week. Another episode of Shenanimegans.
3 more left of the season. Ooh.
Yeah.
Still have to talk about more about what we're doing next season and our OVA/movie thing we do in the finale.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll probably start talking about that more next episode and the episode after.
We'll figure it out.
I have a fun tangent story to end this on, though.
Oh, yeah?
Just on the mention of fanfics. Someone sent me a comment today, and their username was, I'm not going to say my friend's name because I don't know if they'd like to, but it's like J something. Oh wait, people know my fan fictions might know. Well, it's like J Light or whatever, right? And I'm like, that's my little friend's name, and that's not a common name.
Yeah.
And they used to write Homestuck fanfics. My friend used to. So I sent it to them. It's like, is this you? And they're like, no. Like, you know my O3, right? I'm like, yeah, I wasn't sure. They're like, what are the odds? And they're like, Jesus Christ, yeah, what are the odds? Because it's like a pretty uncommon name. And I actually searched up, there's only 4 people with their name on AO3.
Wow.
Total. Like, that's how uncommon the name is. And one of them found their way to me and used to write Homestuck fanfics. It was like, what's the and because it's like J Light, we were joking, like, I wonder if there's a J Dark. Like, the evil writes all the, like, dark stuff. Anyways, that was just a dumb story I thought would be a nice light note to end on after complaining about these episodes and their tropes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it for Shenanimegans.
Wait.
Yeah? Wait, what?
What? Sorry, the show notes, what you wrote for, like, Pleiades?
Oh.
Please dies. It's like, you're really upset about this
Oh.
episode, aren't you?
No, because I never type it the same each week, and I always typo it wrong. So
Oh God, you
I
have.
eventually just smash on it.
It gets worse each episode. What?
Yeah.
I haven't noticed that. It's just funny that it comes up with please dies. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
I
yeah,
didn't
this
realize that.
episode, Minato, please finish off that hetero, get rid of it.
Oh.
Damn.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see you next week. Twitch.tv/Sasam. Shenanimegans.moe. It's for our YouTube channel. And follow us on Twitter at sasambots.lastly, and then shenanimegans.moe/discord if you want to come hang out and chat with us. Oh, anime. It's okay.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. Thanks for watching. We'll have
Hmm.
more of a thing next week as well.
Yeah. I'll
Take
see
care.
ya.